Hey everyone, welcome back to another nostalgic trip down memory lane. Remember Halloween in the 70s? It was a different vibe entirely, filled with quirky, spooky, and downright fun traditions that have faded over time. Today we're diving into 14 forgotten Halloween rituals from the 1970s that we'd absolutely love to bring back. Let's jump right in and make sure you watch till the end for some truly spooky surprises. 1. Homemade costumes from scratch back in the 70s. Store-bought costumes weren't the norm. Instead, parents and kids got creative, crafting costumes out of anything they could find around the house. With fabric scraps, markers, and maybe an old bedsheet, kids turned into ghosts, superheroes, or whatever their imagination could create. The charm of homemade costumes added a unique personal touch that's lost in today's polished store-bought outfits. 2. Classic spooky sound effects.
Follow him wherever he may go. I love him, I love him, I love him, and then it goes that follow.
Halloween parties in the 70s weren't complete without tapes or records of eerie sound effects. People would set the mood with creaking doors, howling wolves, and spine-chilling laughter. A simple cassette tape could transform a room into a haunted house. It wasn't Halloween without a little atmosphere, and this one deserves a comeback for sure. 3. Bobbing for apples. This one might be remembered by some, but it's largely vanished from modern Halloween parties. Bobbing for apples was a staple activity that brought people together for some wholesome, messy fun. Kids and adults alike would laugh and cheer as they attempted to grab an apple without using their hands. It was messy, exciting, and absolutely classic. 4. Telling ghost stories by candlelight. Back before smartphones and endless entertainment options, families and friends gathered around with just a candle or flashlight to share creepy tales. These weren't your typical horror stories. They were legends passed down from older generations, adding to the chills. It was all about suspense, atmosphere, and a touch of mystery that you don't get from movies. 5. Trick-or-treating after dark Halloween night in the 70s meant heading out after dark for a true spooky experience. Streetlights, flashlight beams, and jack-o'-lanterns were the only light you'd see as groups of kids went door to door for treats. Trick-or-treating at night gave the holiday an air of mystery that's harder to find with today's daytime events. 6. Monster Mash dance parties. What's Halloween without some dancing? In the 70s, you'd find Halloween parties with the best spooky tunes playing, and the Monster Mash was on every playlist. Friends and families would come together, dressed in costume, and get their groove on. With strobe lights and disco balls, Halloween parties were as much about dancing as they were about candy. 7. Pranks and Mischief Night. The night before Halloween, known as Mischief Night, was reserved for harmless pranks. Kids might TP a neighbor's tree or write spooky messages on windows with soap. It was all in good fun and added a little thrill to the season. Today, Mischief Night is almost forgotten, but it added a fun, mischievous lead-up to Halloween night. 8. Making your own Halloween decorations. Forget about popping into the store for decorations. In the 70s, Halloween decor was often handmade. Families would cut out construction paper bats, create ghosts from tissue paper, and carve pumpkins with basic tools. The decorations weren't elaborate, but they were creative and personal. It was all about putting in the effort and making your own spooky vibe. 9. Spooky radio shows and broadcasts. For endless Halloween movies, there were Halloween radio specials. Some radio stations would play spooky-themed programs that ran all night, perfect for those wanting some chills while they handed out candy or waited for trick-or-treaters. These eerie broadcasts were something you could only get during the Halloween season, adding to the anticipation. 10. Giant haunted houses in community centers. Many communities back in the 70s would transform a local hall or community center into a haunted house for Halloween. Local volunteers would get together to set up scare zones, and everyone from kids to adults could walk through the spooky attraction. These haunted houses weren't high-tech, but they were heart-pounding fun. 11th, Halloween parades. Small towns and communities often held Halloween parades, where families could dress up, march, and show off their costumes. It was a chance to celebrate Halloween together, with schools, local businesses, and even town officials joining in. Halloween parades brought everyone together for a spooky celebration, and they were a highlight of the season. 12th, DIY jack-o'-lantern contest. Pumpkin carving was serious business, and many communities had friendly jack-o'-lantern contests. From scary faces to intricate designs, people of all ages would show off their skills. It wasn't about winning, it was about showing off creativity and getting into the Halloween spirit. It made carving pumpkins even more exciting and competitive. 13. Fortune telling with candy corn. Here's a quirky one. Some people would use candy corn as fortune-telling treats. Each color or number of candies would represent something about your future, maybe love, success, or even a spooky prediction. It was a lighthearted, funny tradition that added a touch of mystery to Halloween gatherings. 14th, gathering around the fire for s'mores and scary stories. Finally, nothing beats ending Halloween night around a fire. Families would gather around fire pits, toasting marshmallows and making s'mores while swapping stories. With the cool October air and the crackle of the fire, it was the perfect way to wind down Halloween night. The stories, laughter, and s'mores made the holiday feel complete. And there you have it, 14 forgotten Halloween rituals from the 1970s that we'd love to bring back. From handmade costumes to community parades, these traditions made Halloween feel like a community event filled with genuine fun and creativity. Which one of these do you think deserves a comeback? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more blasts from the past. Thanks for joining us, and have a spooky, fun Halloween!